Hello everyone and welcome back to another video for another episode of my Formula 2 2019 season, and today we continue the championship fight in Monaco. So you can see we are 14 points off the leader Latifi and 1 point behind Sede Camera, so we should easily be able to make some progress on this weekend if we get some good results, so let's get into it.
We're here at the Circuit de Monaco for qualifying. Now, pole position is always an accomplishment, but on a track like this, getting that fastest lap really means something profound. Who, I wonder, is going to be able to claim that prestige today?
So here we are for qualifying. Obviously getting pole position here will be a big task, and qualifying is obviously very important, very difficult to overtake in Monaco. Even in the much narrower F2 cars, it still would be a very big challenge. So let's see what these cars can produce around this track. You can see through Sandebot was maybe a little cautious, but better to get through there on this first lap. We're going to do multiple laps probably, just to try to get the absolute most out of the car and tyres. Obviously the tyres, we only get one set for qualifying, which around Monaco is really not particularly helpful. Normally, especially Monaco, I take quite a few laps to get the absolute most out of it, so I'm not expecting anything massive from this qualifying session. I highly doubt we'll end up on pole, but as we go into the Nouvelle chicane, I went way too narrow on the entry. I was just on the wrong side of the road after the tunnel, and I couldn't get back to the right the way I wanted to, so that really ruined that part of the lap, and because of that we're going to need to go again on some slightly worn tyres, but we'll see what this lap time can produce. Obviously also in Monaco in F2 they only set out 10 cars at a time, so that does make the qualifying a little bit weird, and to be honest I'm not entirely sure exactly how it works, but we do set a lap and immediately go on for another, and we go green to the first sector, so we found some time already, and as we go through the Lowe's hairpin, or whatever it's called now, we get through there fairly cleanly. And I'm hoping that we can find some more time through these next sections of track, because right now we are absolutely nowhere. We are in 10th and a fair chunk of time away from the other cars, so we do need to find some massive improvements on this second lap. And as we go into the chicane a little bit further to the right this time, still not quite on the ideal line, but much better than on the first lap, and we get through there cleanly into Tabac, probably the hardest corner on the track in my opinion. There's just no space on the exit, and that's probably why it's so difficult. You can't afford to miss the apex there, but out of the final corner and towards the finish line, what can we produce in a lap time? Nothing. We are still down the back, P9. We improved one position. Absolutely brilliant. But anyway, the checker flag is now out, and we are on for a final lap now, so let's see what we can do with this lap. We've got one final chance to improve. We go green to the first sector, so that's exactly what we need. We've actually been in and out of pit lane in that time, so the tyres have cooled down and we've had a chance to maybe get a little bit more out of them on this occasion, but they are the super soft compound, I believe, so they don't have too much life in them to begin with. So if we find any massive improvements, that might be a surprise, but we go green into the second sector. So all signs are looking positive at the moment, and we go to the finish line now. It's another green sector. Where are we going to qualify? 17th. In Monaco.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top three. De Vries, Aitkit and Nicholas Latifi. It's time to leave for now, but we'll be back tomorrow when the feature race gets itself underway.
Second last to Sean Galale. That is massively underperforming to where I've been throughout the season. I don't think I've ever qualified that badly.
welcome to one of, if not the most iconic race circuit in Formula 2. A track with absolutely no room for error, a track that requires every bit of skill these young drivers can muster. We're getting ready for lights out here in Monte Carlo. So the Circuit de Monaco, 19 corners making up this famous 2-mile track. It's already one of the slowest tracks in the calendar, and in these difficult conditions, we can expect average speeds to be even lower still. And even with that, it's fair to assume that we may well see the safety car out at some point during the race. I'm not the only one sitting here today who's looking forward to today's race. My friend and ex-GP2 champion Davide Valsecchi next to me is already on the edge of his seat awaiting the start of the event. How's it going today?
Hello there, Alex. I'm great, thank you, and very excited to get started. I have a feeling we are in for a very special event today.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. Nick de Vries starts from pole position, and it's Jack Aitken alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Latifi, Tete Camara, Jordan King, and Schumacher, Correa, Joe, Matsushita, Louis Delatraz, Giotto, Hubert, Dorian Boccolacci, and Boschong, Alesi, Ilott, Calderon, and Nikita Mazepin. Galeo, Mahavir Raghunathan starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
No heroics into Sandoval, please. We're in amongst the pack and just need to stay in one piece.
Yes, Jeff. So, it is raining for the Monaco feature race. It's going to dry up towards the end. So, my plan really is just to try to survive as best I can until that point. I was looking on the strategy to see exactly how long the wet tyres go. And it looks like they could just about do the entire race, but they'll fall slightly short. So I think I'll just run the same set all the way until it dries, and hope that some of the other cars come into the pits, and we will hopefully be able to gain some positions that way, because I don't imagine my pace.
Everything looks good on the power unit cycle, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
I don't imagine my pace in the rain to be very good, so we'll see. But at the moment, I'm not feeling too optimistic about this race starting P17 in Monaco in heavy rain conditions in Formula 2 cars.
We're expecting the rain to get better in around 5 minutes. Light rain in 5 minutes time.
Oh, that's some good news. I hope that the heavy rain shouldn't last too long. So we'll just see how this goes. Really, I'm going to be very, very cautious into the first corner as we now go to 5 red lights, and away we go for the feature race here in Monaco. And I've just pulled over to the right hand side because I got an absolutely dreadful start, and I'm just going to brake early and make sure we don't rear-end anyone into the first corner. Like, look at this, you can see the name tags, but you can barely see another car when they're even right in front of you. The visibility
Yellow flag.
is absolutely nothing. I think I just caused that yellow flag by driving so slowly up the hill. But, oh, there's a bit of front wing there. So someone up ahead has lost their front wing, or at least the end plates. So they will be holding up a bit of a train in this race, you would assume. But yeah, that is... but look at this. This is ridiculous. I've basically come to a complete stop at the hairpin because I've caught up to the train again after being so slow up the hill. And yeah, well, it's just a bit of a joke, really. Anyway, we'll try to come back at the cars in front. We'll let the race settle down and see if we can make our way back into it. So now we move on to the end of lap 3, and you can see we've got a purple first sector, so in certain parts of the track we are finding some pace now versus the cars ahead. But on the right hand side, if you look, there's Sergio Sette Camara and Sean Galeo in pits.
Okay, the rain should ease up in a couple of minutes. Light rain soon.
Okay, light rain is coming soon, but that is I don't even know what was going on. That is so strange. I don't know why they're pitting so early in this race. There's not really an advantage to gain. And now Latifi's in. He was already coming. He come out just in front of us just a moment ago. So he's pitting in 2 consecutive laps. I just don't understand. Unless he maybe got damage or a punctured tyre or something. I have no idea. Very, very strange scenes here in Monaco. I don't know why the AI felt the need to pit this early in the race. Maybe, as we go down the inside of Raghunathan. I did not see that coming. But we've made that move. A little bit of contact with Mazepin in front. But we got through there and ahead of Mahavir Raghunathan. Let's look from the helicopter. It was a big dive as they were all checked up behind each other. And we just parked the car on the inside. And he couldn't turn in. We were there. And yeah, we got that done. As we look at the replay there, he almost tried to turn in, but we're already well alongside in the gap. It was just sort of waiting there. So that could be a move that we take advantage of in the future. But meanwhile, we look ahead, and this is Jordan King, and he is the one who had damage on the first lap, and he is holding up a mega train as we dive down the inside of Mazepin, almost making a bit of contact with Giuliano Alesi there. But we get through ahead of Mazepin now, so that will be a bit of an overtaking opportunity into the hairpin if they're all going to be stuck behind Jordan King, who's holding them all up through the slow corners. Look how close we got to Alesi's car. We may have even gave it a little touch, but no contact. And now we go down the inside of Alesi into that same corner, and this time we get the move done on Giuliano Alesi. And the next car ahead is Callum Ilott. I'm having trouble keeping up with this. Here's the replay of overtaking Alesi. Another dive to the inside. Park the car right where they need to turn in, and that forces them to leave the space, and we get through. So we move on now. The next car is Callum Ilott. We're going to go down the inside into that corner and just about stop before we run into Boccalacci. And that is probably one of the nicest overtakes we've made on that corner. No contact with Ilott or Boccalacci there. You can see on the replay we go down the inside, and Ilott was very respectful there, almost bringing the car to a stop, and just slots in behind us. So that is very helpful from Ilott as we go down the inside of Boccalacci, and we're side by side with Boschong, and we actually get through ahead of both of them. A double overtake at the Lowe's hairpin. So that is a really nice move there. A little bit of contact with Ralph Boschung there, but we both get away with it on that occasion, and we can both march on as we now go down the inside of Hubert, our teammate, and make a little bit of contact with Deltres.
Okay, the safety car is out. The safety car is out. We need to form up at a reduced pace. Keep it.
Now we have a safety car, and this is on board with Hubert. I thought I might have blocked him. The AI do sometimes come to a stop if you go too slowly through that corner, but it wasn't that. So I actually have no idea what caused the safety car. No one retired, no one was parked or in anywhere. There was no one spun out. There was nothing. I have no clue what caused the safety car, but we have it. The safety car is out in 2 consecutive races. We had it in Spain as well.
Overtake the safety car. You may overtake the safety car. It is waiting to pick up the leader.
I already did. It was way back there. But yeah, safety cars are plenty in Formula 2. So we now catch up to the train, the Jordan King train. But I was looking on the mini-map, and that doesn't really look like enough cars. And what's actually happened is Jordan King is so slow with his broken front wing that he cannot actually catch up to the safety car. So there is a bit of an issue there, because Jordan King is quite high up the field, and he is really ruining the race for everyone behind him as we completely miss the chicane. That doesn't matter, we can get away with that. But
10 minutes left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up. 10 minutes.
the rain ends in 10 minutes, so we can't make an early call onto the...
Okay, I recommend staying out during this safety car. Our tyres are still good. It's not worth risking the track position.
That's pretty much what I was trying to say. is that yeah, there's no reason to go onto new wets. There's no reason to move to slicks this early. We'd just lose piles of time. So yeah, the strategy now really, we just have to hope that Jordan King can make up some time.
Ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap.
And
when the field accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags.
let's just pretend that didn't happen. So you can see, like, this is not where safety car restarts happen. It's meant to be on the main straight, but we're all the way back here because of just how slow Jordan King was going with his damage. I wish he pit under that safety car and the rest of us could have caught the field, but the leaders have been given a huge free kick from this safety car, because now there's even less time I have to do anything about catching them. And yeah, Jordan King, I do not understand why he didn't pit for a new front wing under that safety car. But anyway, we go on, and we're not going to worry too much.
Current forecast is 5 or 10 more minutes of rain before it dries up.
But eventually some cars do make pit stops, and we actually find our way up into P6, but the tyres are not looking particularly happy about it, and it will be very, very close whether they actually make it to the dry period in the race. So we're just going to have to hold on for dear life and just try to drag these tyres far enough into the race to make the move to slicks to the end. But at the moment it'll be very, very close.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
So I'm not exactly sure what happened, but sometimes somehow I managed to miss a few laps of footage. But anyway, what was that?
You're sat in P18. P18 gap to car in front is 3.6 seconds. Our gap behind is 10.2 seconds.
So my pace in the dry has been absolutely nowhere as we get past Jordan King. I'm not really sure what he was doing, but we do that. But we are a lap down. We got a puncture on those wet tyres. We had to come in to, yeah, we lost a bunch of time in that phase of the race. So now we've got nothing. We finished the race in 17th.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
After all the overtakes, we ended up right back where we started.
So another fantastic victory for Campos today. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
The safety car had a huge impact on the race today, that's for sure. A lot of racers begin panicking when it's brought into a race, as it means important decisions need to be made in a very short space of time. Should you pit? Well, that depends. What truck is it? How are the tires holding up? What is my current position? A race can be won or lost after the introduction of a safety car. Making good thinking key to the victory here today.
I can see them on their way out to the podium now. Campos have come a really long way in this sport, and what a special race this was to see them earn the top spot.
So Jack Aitken is your race winner for the Monaco feature race. He's got the full 25 points, and I'm not actually sure who got the fastest lap in the end, if it was him or someone else, but he'll be very happy with that result.
So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It's a good result for Nicholas Latifi, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
After a drive like that, it's got to be Mahever Raghunathan. He was impressive in the race distance.
On to the teams then. Dams move further ahead at the top of the standings. Meanwhile, Carlin move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
So amongst all that, Mahavir Raghunathan ended up going from 20th to 11th, just missing out on points. So a good drive, but just falling short of the points. But anyway, looking at the results, reverse grid pole will go to Giuliano Alesi. That is insane. So he has a very, very good chance of getting a very unexpected win in this race. With it won't be easy though, because Hubert, Delatraz and Matsushita will be right there the whole time. So that will be interesting to see how that plays out throughout the course of the sprint race. So let's get into it.
And we're back. After yesterday's feature race, the top 8 drivers have been reversed on the grid, setting up some exciting action as we launch into today's event, the sprint race. Davide, is there anything we should be looking for in today's race? The teams are all very competitive at the moment, so are we about to witness a push from anyone in particular?
Hi Alex, the team will have been studying everyone else out there very carefully. So I think we are in for a very interesting event today. I can't wait to see how this race unfolds.
No heroics into Sandoval, please. We're in amongst the pack and just need to stay in one piece.
Thanks, Jeff. Twice in one weekend. Good effort. So now we go to 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for the sprint race here in Monaco. And it has been an alright start. We can work with this. Jordan King has gone around the outside. We make a massive dive into the first corner. And we're forced to cut the corner there. And I had to back off on the exit to make sure we didn't gain an advantage. So we slot in back to our starting position of 17th. But look at this, Alesi has gotten the jump and is in the lead of the sprint race here in Monaco as we overtake Boccalacci, I believe that is. So already making moves in this race. Yes, that was Boccalacci. Next up is Correa. We go down the inside into the first corner and leaving the space from the exit. He was still there on the outside, but we get through. Next up is
We're trailing our teammate by 9.4 seconds.
Mazepin. We go down the inside and get that move done. Didn't quite leave as much space on the exit there, but we got the move done before the apex. Here's the onboard from Mazepin, and we didn't actually quite get the move done before the apex. But we look forward to the battle for the lead. Alesi is just about holding on, but Hubert is right behind him. Here's the look over the left shoulder of Alesi, and he is driving very well in this race to hold on. But as we're pushing to now try to catch up to his teammate Ralph Boschung, who has not had the same luck. Boschung has generally had the pace over his teammate, but a very lucky reverse grid pole after a bit of a weird feature race might put Alesi ahead just about for the season, because it is quite rare for Trident as a team to score points. So if Alesi can hold on to that position, it will be brilliant for that whole team. But we go down the inside of Boschung into the first corner and get that move done. He's still there on the left side for a moment, and we have to leave a lot of space, but eventually we get through. And I was just keeping to the right just to be sure. But now we catch up to Raghunathan, and we go for a big dive down the inside into the first corner, and it looks like turn 1 is going to be our overtaking place in this race. So now you can see
Great work. That's a new fastest lap for the race.
we've just set the fastest lap. We've got a pile of space in front of us. Raghunathan was maybe holding up that train a little bit, as well as Boschung, maybe more so. And now eventually we catch up to Guan Yu Zhou. We go down the inside into the first corner, carbon copy of all the moves we've made before, and we get that done. Next up is actually his teammate Luca Giotto, and we make the same move down the inside into the first corner. Bit of contact that time. We were a bit further back. I had to go in a bit harder, but we do get it done. Next up is Callum Ilott, who's having a brilliant race so far, and we don't make the move into the first corner on this occasion. We get a really good run up the hill though, and we go side by side up the hill towards Rivage, Massenet and Casino, and we get through on the inside, now through the Casino Square corner and down the hill. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead, Alesi is still holding on from Hubert, Delatraz and Matsushita. They are all pushing him to the limit, but Alesi is driving very, very well to hold on. Next up ahead of us though is Jack Aitken, the race winner from last time, and we go down the inside and get that position. Next up is De Vries. We go down the inside of him and get that done. We are absolutely flying through the field at this point. Next up is Nicholas Latifi. So can we pass him in the same place? Let's see, we've caught up to him onto the main straight, and we're going to go down the inside into the first corner, and now ahead of Nicholas Latifi. Next up, we're up into P6 now, and the next car up ahead is Mick Schumacher. So we have gone well into the points into this race, but as we're chasing Schumacher, we hit the inside wall and spin around, and we've held up the field a bit, but we managed to do a full 360 and keep going without losing a position. I've never seen that before. I've hit that inside wall many times, but I've never gotten away with it like that. There's the onboard from Latifi. Good effort by him to stop and avoid contact. Here's the onboard from Nick De Vries, and he just stops and gets a hit from behind actually. So he won't be too happy about that, but good job by the two Nicks to do their part. Here's the onboard with Aitken, and he's the one that hits the back of De Vries. And here's the onboard with Callum Ilott, runs into the back of Aitken, and he is having a bit of trouble getting moving again. Here comes Giotto. Oh, that was close. Giotto just getting through there, and Ilott driving into the wall as Joe goes around the outside, and a couple of other cars coming through as well. But I'm not sure what Ilott was doing there. He just drove into the wall. So that was very strange from Ilott, but they all managed to get going again eventually. So no safety car or anything for that, but a very weird incident there. Obviously I caused it, I can't deny that, but yeah, I don't really know what Ilott was doing. And yes, we are in the top 10 now. Thanks for pointing that out a few laps too late. And meanwhile, we look at Callum Ilott absolutely flying with no front wing on the car. It looks ridiculous through the swimming pool section. He's actually still carrying quite a lot of speed. It looks like from the helicopter there. But he will be pitting, and that will be the end of the day for him. He will be put way back in the field, and yeah, that's the end of the day for Ilott. No chance of points for him. But that's really all that happened. We couldn't catch Schumacher after the spin, so we crossed the line for P6.
Race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
And I would say that is a very good recovery from where we started.
It was a tough race at times, but they've held on to take a great victory for Trident today. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
I think they kept a cool head. That's why they won today. Smooth, steady, everything bad that happened to them, they handled it calmly and professionally. That's what let them focus on getting the best out of everything else. The car, the strategy, they managed to keep out of trouble the whole way around.
It's the part we've all been waiting for, the podium finish, and it's probably one of the more unexpected finishes in a while. Trident take the victory, and Trident have made huge strides within F2 recently, and today proves that they're not only still in the race, they're in it to win. Congratulations to everyone on the team.
So obviously a brilliant race by Giuliano Alesi to hold on to the win for the Trident team. That is massive for them. And the rest of the podium, Antoine Hubert and Louis Delatraz, strangely similar to the real-life sprint race podium in Monaco. So that's a little bit spooky.
And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. The lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points leader. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
I go for Tatiana Calderon. She was so fast today. She really impressed me.
And now a look at the team standings. We saw a dip in form from the championship leaders today. Their lead has taken a significant blow. Meanwhile, Carlin moved up the table with another strong performance this weekend. That's it for today's race. From Davide and I, it's goodbye, and we'll see you when Formula 2 returns.
So, as for our race, it was a really nice recovery. We actually managed to outscore Latifi for this race, so that is a nice bit of help for the championship chase. Sergio Sette Camara has been nowhere the entire weekend. He got screwed over in the first race. I assume he maybe had to double stack in the pits or something. I don't know exactly what happened, but you can see he's not even on the top 14 on the screen there. So yeah, a very disappointing weekend for Sergio Sette Camara, and hopefully we should be able to take second in the championship. Let's have a look at the standings, and we do take second. So we are still behind Dams in the constructors. Hubert massively outscoring me for the weekend. Overall, a really solid weekend. The feature race just didn't really come together, but we made up for it in the sprint race, made a whole bunch of overtakes on a track that is notoriously difficult for overtakes. And actually looking at the results for the weekend, Jack Aitken actually scores the most points. Latifi in third, and obviously he extends his championship lead on us. Yeah, so that will be a little disappointing, but look at Alesi up there, race winner. I mean, you can't complain. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next episode for the French Grand Prix. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one for the French Grand Prix.
The safety car is waiting for the lead.
I just noticed on Hubert's halo from this angle you can see it says Remembering Charlie.